Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The NFL on Fox welcomes you back to Dolphin Stadium, 81 degrees in South Florida. I'm Chris Myers from the field, and in pregame warm-ups, Joey Porter, he sparred playfully with his own coach, Tony Sparano. Then Mike Holmgren came over from Seattle and jokingly said, hey, go easy on us, we're injured. Porter hasn't gone easy on many, and he won't go easy on Seneca Wallace, Seattle's quarterback, who's probably the healthiest he's been since his calf bothered him early. Porter did tell me this week it's not too early to talk playoffs. He believes the Dolphins are a playoff team. He might be the NFL Defensive Player of the Year at the halfway point with more sacks than games played. But Sam, if the Dolphins can win today, they'd be over 500 for the first time in nearly 3 years.
Thanks, Chris. Chad Pennington said this is the biggest game of the year for the Miami Dolphins. It can set the tone for the second half of the season. Here are the standings. Miami with 2 wins in a row. They've beaten Buffalo and New England this season.
2-1 in the division.
They lost to the Jets opening day. The Seattle Seahawks won the toss of the coin, but have elected to defer, so they will kick off to start the game. Lofa Tutupu, the middle linebacker, is back after missing last week with a groin injury. There's Ted Ginn. He'll be back deep to receive. Seahawks have really struggled with injuries. Matt Hasselbeck, their starting quarterback, is out again today, but they hope, and it looks like he will be back next week.
Well, they were so beat up at the wide receiver position early. I mean, they've lost 8 guys at the wide receiver position, and talking to Coach Holmgren, it was it's the worst. I mean, it's the worst he's ever seen it. And when you thought earlier in the year maybe they can just weather the storm with the wide receivers, but when the quarterback went down a few weeks ago, that whole story changed for him.
That'll look at Tony Sparano, the first-year head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Ted Ginn is back deep, set to receive. Olindo Mare, the former Miami Dolphin, kicks it off, and here we go. Ginn from the goal line. Sends it the other way after a nice move and turns it into a big gainer. Ted Ginn is going all the way. 100 yards, touchdown. But there's a flag back at the 20-yard line. A holding call will negate it. The Dolphins are still celebrating, but Peter Morelli, the referee, has signaled holding against the Dolphins on the return. The sun came out just at that moment for Mike Holmgren.
Well, watch him stop on a dime right here. As you see, Babineau's got contained. Boop! He just pops right outside of him, and there's the hold right there. The hold is on Charlie Anderson. Holding T.J. Duckett right there. T.J. Duckett could not get out to the edge to try to cut off Ted Ginn. But you can see right there the ability of Ted Ginn to start and stop again in a hurry, as he just faked out Jordan Babineau.
The season started, Devon Best was the kickoff return man, and now they have moved Ginn into that role the last 4 games, and you can see what he could do. But instead of a touchdown, the Dolphins start from their own 10 with Ronnie Brown and Patrick Cobbs in the backfield. It's Ronnie Brown for a couple of yards. Chad Pennington is the starting quarterback, and he has taken over as captain and leader. Ronnie Brown is back healthy and running well. Lou Polite will be the blocking fullback. Ted Ginn and Greg Camarillo, the wide receivers. Camarillo leading the team with 43 catches. The offensive line led by Jake Long, the #1 draft pick overall, the protector and left tackle. Ricky Williams in with Lou Polite in the backfield. Sparano saying to us on Friday he felt that Ricky Williams was about ready to break out, and look at this run up to the 23-yard line. Marcus Trufant on the tackle for Seattle. Good run by Ricky Williams for a first down. Check out the Seattle Seahawks on defense. They're still missing Patrick Kearney, but after undergoing surgery, shoulder surgery this week, he will play again this season. Lawrence Jackson, the #1 draft pick, starts. Lofa Tutupu is back. He's the key man at middle linebacker. If you don't get him blocked, he makes all the tackles, say the Dolphins. And you look at the secondary, Deion Grant Had an interception last week off the play fake. Pennington throws, almost intercepted by Marcus Trufant, who is covering Ted Ginn on the play.
It's a matchup that should be a good one all day today with Ted Ginn, second-year player, against Marcus Trufant, a Pro Bowl corner. And you're going to see him do a lot of things, mixing up the coverage. That ball was almost picked. That was a bad throw inside of the receiver on the comeback route. But you'll see Trufant mix it up all day on the young receiver with press, with off techniques, just different looks till he gets a feel for what Ted Ginn's good at.
3 wide receivers. Ronnie Brown in the backfield for the Dolphins on 2nd and 10. Quick outside of Camarillo. Turns it upfield, gets up to the 29-yard line. Greg Camarillo, who is an undrafted free agent, signed with San Diego, came over to the Dolphins last season, caught 8 passes last season, and what a breakout year he's having.
What's wild for him, he was just concentrating on making the team in training camp. You see his career highs last week at Denver. The guy was a backup in college. He had 46 career college catches, no touchdowns. He's already got 44 this year in the pro game.
3rd and 4 for the Dolphins, who work out of the shotgun. Ricky Williams is in the backfield. Pennington gets time, looking for Williams. He's got him for a first down. 38-yard line. Leroy Hill chased him out. Ricky Williams, who had a big catch on the final touchdown drive of the game last week in Denver. It set up the touchdown by Ronnie Brown.
This is a hard route to cover now. There's a little option route where they're going to run off the corner deep. You're going to see out here the corner's going to run off deep. Now look at all this space outside of the linebacker. Ricky Williams is just going to work off the leverage. You see the corner ran out of there. That's a tough little choice route for a linebacker on a running back when he's got all that open field next to him.
Anthony Fasano, the tight end, lines up in the backfield. Draw play to Ronnie Brown. Lofa Tatupu wraps him up at the 41-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play.
They will be heavily committed to running the football today, the Miami Dolphins. They've got to get better at it. They really do. And Sperano knows it. And, you know, guys have just not really gotten to the second level in terms of his offensive line up front. You know, by trade, he's an offensive line coach. Right. So he wants to run the ball. It's been 4 games since they've had 100 yards rushing. So in his mind, that needs to change starting today.
Ricky Williams splits out. As Pennington works out of the shotgun on 2nd down. Williams in motion, takes the handoff. Turns the corner, took a hit, bounced off. Deion Grant hit him. He bounced off and got an extra 4 yards up to the 48-yard line, and it looks like he's got it up for the first down. He does.
I was just talking about blocking to the second level. Watch Anthony Fasano, who's going to be right here. They got to get this guy blocked, Lofa Tatupu. He's a second-level player. He's a linebacker, so he works off the D end. Now he gets it to the second level on Lofa Tatupu, just enough to spring Ricky Williams to where he could break a tackle and pick up the first down.
8th play of the drive. Patrick Cobbs splits out now. Ronnie Brown in the backfield. Different personnel, different formations. Pressure on Pennington. Throws outside for Ted Ginn. He makes the catch inbounds at the 45-yard line of the Seahawks. Josh Wilson was covering on the play. Pickup of 7 for the Miami Dolphins, who won only 1 game last season. Big changeover. Turnovers are down this year. That's been a big factor. Penalties are down. That's the discipline factor brought in by Tony Sperano. Quarterback rating with Chad Pennington is up.
Got the Wildcat right here now. Chad Pennington split out wide. Ronnie Brown shotgun taking the snap.
Let's see how Seattle plays this. They motion Ricky Williams. He takes the handoff. Julian Peterson wrapped him up. Short pickup down to the 43-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and about 1 for the Dolphins.
That's a good job by Lofa Tatupu. Anytime they see that, they're going to attack it. You can't sit back and wait because, in essence, the offense has created an extra gap by getting the quarterback out of the box and putting another runner back there. And so you can't sit back and wait, and Lofa Tatupu did exactly what you have to do against that. You have to attack it. He got in the backfield, forced Ricky Williams to make a cut so Julian Peterson could make the tackle.
2 tight ends in for the Dolphins with Casey Kramer, the fullback. Ronnie Brown is in there in the backfield along with Patrick Cobbs. The play fake by Pennington. rolls it, throws short, and completes it for a first down to David Martin, the tight end. Martin, the second tight end, makes the catch and a first down just across the 40-yard line.
This is where Chad's smart, because his tight end's right here, and he's just going to block, 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 and then release. He's got guys coming from the backside on the crossing routes. He'd like to take the deep one. See Fasano coming behind him, but he's just going to pop it for the first down. Seems everybody covered. Get it to the short guy, his third read. David Martin for the first down.
Howard Green, Craig Terrell are in at defensive tackles for the Seahawks on first down. Ronnie Brown, flea flicker, back to Pennington, goes deep. Double covered is Ginn, and he caught it. Touchdown! What a throw, what a catch. Ted Ginn beat Marcus Trufant and Brian Russell for a 39-yard touchdown. A 90-yard opening drive for the Miami Dolphins. That follows on the heels of an 80-yard drive to seal the game in Denver. Dan Carpenter, the rookie out of Montana, for the extra point, and it's through. What a start for the Miami Dolphins. The flea flicker worked perfectly. Ted Ginn beats two defenders for the touchdown.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Back at Dolphin Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins, after they had a touchdown negated on the opening kickoff, marched 90 yards, and Marcus Trufant was beaten along with Brian Russell on the pass to Ted Ginn. Carpenter's kickoff to Josh Wilson from the 3. The second-year man swings wide. He was slowed down by Jason Allen and taken down short of the 20-yard line. Good coverage by the Dolphins. Patrick Cobbs makes the tackle. There's the touchdown by Ted Ginn.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager.
Ted Ginn's first touchdown of the season on the 39-yard pass from Chad Pennington. Blitz coming. Seneca Wallace on first down, and he gets rid of it, and the pass is caught. Diving catch by John Carlson, the tight end, the man that we talked about earlier.
Here's the touchdown. Chad Pennington made it harder than it had to be. Look how open Greg Camarillo is on the corner route. He elects to go right into the double coverage. It was good coverage, but a great throw beats good coverage every time, and really a terrific catch by Ted Ginn for the touchdown. But did you see how open Greg Camarillo was on the corner route? Those corners bit bigger than Dallas on the flea flick.
Seneca Wallace, first pass completed for 13 yards on first down. He drops back again, and he's going deep for Bobby Ingram, overthrown. He was one-on-one with Will Allen, and the pass too far. Seneca Wallace in his 6th year in the NFL. This is his 8th career start, 4th week in a row that he has started for the injured Matt Hasselbeck.
And he's been a little uneven. I mean, you look at his numbers, they've been pretty good. The completion percentage, you'd like to get that higher, but I really think, and you know, when he got into the game a few weeks ago, he had an injured calf. Today, he has got to make plays, Sam, out of the pocket with his legs.
3 wide receivers, they bunch him to the left, and then Ingram goes in motion. The handoff to Julius Jones, and he gets a couple of yards up to the 34-yard line. Vonnie Holliday makes the tackle for Miami. A look at the starting lineups. Julius Jones will see a lot of Maurice Morris in the backfield. Leonard Weaver, the fullback, is back after missing last week's game. Corin Robinson had the 90-yard touchdown reception last week, and John Carlson, the leading receiver. Walter Jones is the anchor of the offensive line. Randy Starks and Philip Merling in on the defensive line for the Dolphins. Here's 3rd and 8. Wallace throws, beautiful catch by Bobby Ingram. as he went up and got it for a first down at the 44-yard line. The veteran and very, very reliable Bobby Ingram.
And look, these guys on the outside need to make some plays to get Bobby Ingram freed up. And you'll see right here, Bobby Ingram, he's going to be right into double coverage. They got a corner and they've got a safety on him. He goes up on a square in and really does a nice job catching a high football for the first down.
Jones and Weaver in the backfield. Carlson goes in motion. And Seattle comes out throwing the football. That pass dropped. Intended for John Carlson. Jeremiah Bell was covering on the play.
One thing that they'll need to do today, the Seahawks, is they got to sustain some drives. And they've been the worst in the National Football League, Sam, at time of possession. And when you look at this team's record in the last 26 games in time of possession, if they win time of possession, they're 22-4. So they've got to try to stay on the field, have more opportunities today, and take some pressure off their defense, which has struggled.
Julius Jones carries. Gets to the 49-yard line. Seattle at the bottom of the league in 3-and-outs this season, percentage-wise.
It's worse than the NFL. 37% of the time they start a drive and they're out after 3 plays. And the whole link goes right to their defense in time of possession and spending too much time on the field. Third down has been a problem all year.
Here's third and a long 5. This drive started from the 19. They've gotten a couple of first downs. Let's see what they do here. As the crowd gets loud, Charlie Anderson in at linebacker for the Dolphins. Ingram in motion, 3 wide receivers. Wallace, pressure. He sneaks away. A little juke, and he's got a first down at the Dolphins' 45. He just ducked underneath the rusher and picked up a first down.
Well, and it's good gut pressure right up the gut. Watch the defensive tackle on the right side. He's going to throw a nice little move, come inside on Mike Wall. You see it right there. Philip Merling, he goes down. Now, this is what Wallace needs to do. This is his forte. This is what he's good at. There's nobody open down the field and you see a crease. Blow it up with your legs. He did that time and got a first down.
3 first downs on this drive for Seattle. Gary Colbert is in. He goes straight ahead. There's Julius Jones, and he's pulled back after a gain of a yard. Let's get an update on what's happening in the AFC East and go to Kurt Menefee.
And we will double dip for you there, Sam. Thomas Jones, you got to know him in the pregame show. The Rams get to know him courtesy of this 13-yard run, 7-0 Jets in the first quarter. And how about another 13-yard run? This time it's New England quarterback Matt Castle, and they lead the Bills 7-0 also in the first. Back to Sam and Tim down in Miami.
We'll be watching those games. Thanks, Kurt. 9th play of this drive for Seattle, 2nd and 9. And they stop the play. False start.
Number 43, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's on the fullback, Leonard Weaver. Just back after missing last week's game. A very important man in the backfield, an excellent blocker.
And an excellent receiver and can run after the catch. He needs to have a big day today. If you go back and look at what Miami did defensively, and it was a lot of good stuff against Denver last week, but they had a lot of trouble with the fullback, especially in the pass game. Leonard Weaver should have opportunities to get those on this defense.
He goes off for a 3rd wide receiver. That's Kerry Colbert, number 13, who's in. Dolphins bring in Jason Allen as a 5th defensive back. The play fake, Wallace swings it out to the tight end, John Carlson. Gets back to the 45-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. Jeremiah Bell makes the tackle. The rookie out of Notre Dame, John Carlson, a 2nd-round draft pick, and he has been a pleasant surprise. I don't know if they thought he'd be this good as a receiver.
I don't think anybody did. All the draft experts did not think he was going to be this kind of weapon. And Sammy leads him in catches. He's very, very good in the pass game. Now, he'll have to improve on his blocking, but Mike Holmgren says eventually this guy's going to be a great pro in this game. Reminds him of Brent Jones, who we all remember from the 49ers.
Yes. 6 defensive backs in, 3 wide receivers, 3rd and 10. Wallace, pressure, they got him. First sack of the game. Joey Porter was there. Jeremiah Bell was there. And the Dolphins all over it. Charlie Anderson there as well. And the Seahawks, after a good drive, stall, and will have to punt.
Charlie Anderson here. Joey Porter is going to come underneath him. And Walter Jones just can't get there. You saw Julius Jones step up for Charlie Anderson. Huge crease there as Joey just took it underneath and got in on the quarterback.
John Ryan punts it away. Levon Bess is hit at the 25 and thrown back. C.J. Wallace, number 39, on the tackle. The Dolphins have the lead and have the ball.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the all-new 09 F-150. It's not just a new truck, it's a new F-150. By State Farm, proud sponsor of the NFL and the best day of the week. And by Yellow Book. To learn more about this week's Yellow Book Future Faces, go to foxsports.com/futurefaces.
Charlie Anderson and Joey Porter split this sack.
Well, and a real hard sack to block because they brought Channing Crowder up inside. Now you put 2-on-2 with a game. And now you have a guard and a running back, or a tackle, and a running back trying to block those two pass rushers.
Joey Porter.
Well designed, well executed.
Sorry, Tim. Joey Porter leads the NFL now with 12 sacks. Anthony Fasano, the tight end, lines up in the backfield. Dolphins start from the 24. Blitz coming. Outside of Camarillo. Marcus Trufant wraps him up at the 28-yard line. Pickup of 4 on the play.
Pennington will do that all day. You know, you never know who's going to be his #1 receiver in the afternoon, and I think it changes every week. He's just going to do it based on coverage, like a good quarterback should. He won't force anything. That time, he just came and read off coverage, and they're playing way off of Greg Camarillo, so he'll run a hitch route. He'll do that all day if you let him.
Look at the accuracy. 5 for 6. He came into the game completing better than 67% of his passes this season. Ricky Williams in the backfield. The toss to Williams. Followed Patrick Cobbs. Got a hit in there on Leroy Hill and then fell forward to the 38-yard line. A first down. Another good run for Ricky Williams.
All misdirection. Everyone, including this guy, thinks it's going this way. Then they flip it out to the left. You see, the fullback Reed told Julian Peterson, that ball's going away from me. I better squeeze it a little bit. All you need to do is get him going one step inside. They flip it outside of him, and a pretty good block out on the edge by their other guy there, Patrick Cobbs, to help give Ricky a few more yards for the first down.
4 carries, 29 yards for Ricky Williams. 3 wide receivers in. Devon Besson is the third for the Dolphins. On first down, Pennington gets rid of it, completes to Camarillo, and he's down at the 43-yard line. What a story for Chad Pennington. On August the 8th, he was still with the New York Jets. He was their #1 quarterback, but then the Jets signed Brett Favre. He came to Broadway, got the keys to the city. It brought back thoughts of going to the Super Bowl like Joe Namath back in 1969. The next day, Chad Pennington signed with Miami, and he's become their captain and their leader. They are 4-4 and thinking of making a playoff run. And he said it's good to think about success and talk about it. Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the backfield. Brown off the Wildcat formation, handing to Ricky Williams. Short pickup up to the 45-yard line.
He is, you know, Chad Pennington, look at his accuracy over the years. That's all time. There's some pretty good names on that list, and he's up near 66%. The day that they got him, it changed. He had an instant impact. The players will tell you that, and really, if you think about it, and they probably didn't see it back then, but they went from rebuilding to contending. Look where they are in the division. And Chad Pennington's been a huge, he's the MVP of this football team in my mind, no question.
He
huge
holds
part
player meetings with the offensive line on Wednesday, with the wide receivers and backs on Thursday. He has really stepped up as a big-time leader. Out to Ronnie Brown, and that's a first down up at the 49-yard line. The Dolphins offense is clicking. They're moving the football. They have a 7-0 lead as we come to the end of the first quarter.
They can't.
Back at Dolphin Stadium, aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers here at Dolphin Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins with a great start to the game, Tim. Second possession. There you move the ball from their own 19 to the 49-yard line. On first down.
It's a Wildcat again.
There they are, 2 tight ends in. Direct snap to Ronnie Brown. He hands to Ricky Williams. There he goes. He's going all the way. 51 yards. Touchdown, Ricky Williams. Wow. We talked about how would Seattle defend the Wildcat. They didn't.
Not at all, and this is how you draw it up. Really good blocks by the left guard, Smiley. Watch him here knock this one down. Now you got Jake Long on a safety. Forget it. Darryl Tapp got caught on the option looking out, and they creased him on the inside. Two real good blocks up front, and got Darryl Tapp guessing a little bit on the option around the corner, straight downhill for Ricky Williams.
Dan Carpenter's extra point is good. 50th career rushing touchdown for Ricky Williams. His 34th as a Miami Dolphin. That's second all-time on the team.
Ricky Williams credits yoga and maturity for turning his career around, and at age 31 says, I'm in the perfect spot with Tony Sperano and Bill Parcells. I had to frame my life differently. Football is important. It's not all of my life. And he said, it's very intense here like never before, but now I can handle it. Sam, already 7 touches for Miami.
Oh, great start. That's a touchback on the kickoff by Dan Carpenter. Justin Smiley and the rest of the Dolphins offensive line opened the hole, and Ricky Williams just ran right through.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. By Frost Brewed Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, your beer is as cold as the Rockies. And by Citizen Echo Drive. Fueled by light, it never needs a battery.
January 1st. It's the 75th anniversary of the FedEx Orange Bowl. We're told the Doobie Brothers might be the halftime entertainment. It's the ACC champion against a BCS at-large team. That's the FedEx Orange Bowl, the night of January 1st. Bobby Ingram with the catch. Will Allen takes him down. A first down for Seattle. Pick up a 15.
I thought they were playing
35.
takedowns out here. Watch Bobby Ingram, how physical he gets with Will Allen. I mean, Will can chuck him right in the 5-yard zone, but watch this.
Ooh.
Created a little advantage for
That's
himself,
an interesting
didn't he?
move. Leonard Weaver splits out. Julius Jones, flag stops the play. It'll be a false start against the Seahawks.
False start, number 75. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's the right tackle, Sean Locklear. Mike Holmgren, who says he will take maybe a year off, some time off after this season. He's not retiring. He's just stepping away from the game for a while.
A little sabbatical, he said. Go ride his motorcycle, go to the beach, hang with the grandkids. He's going to fight, though. I guarantee you 8 more games, and he's giving these players his promise that he'll fight for him till the last day he's here.
Julius Jones up to the 32. Let's check out what the Jets and the Rams are doing. Go back to Kurt Menefee.
All right, here's Abram Elam hitting Mark Bulger. Ball comes out. Calvin Pace scoops it up, takes it in 48 yards for the score. And guys, everybody talks about Brett Favre and the Jets. They're ignoring how good this Jets defense has been this year. They lead 17-0 in the first quarter thanks to the defensive touchdown. Sam?
You're absolutely right, Kurt. I mean, that defense, nobody's talking about them. They get after the quarterback and they stop the run.
Leonard Weaver trying to fight off Aiken Adele. He gets up to the 38-yard line. We go to the sideline to the Sunshine Man, Chris Myers.
In the Sunshine State. And Mike Holmgren, you were talking about his sabbatical with Jim Mora named as the head coach in waiting. You know, Tim Ruskell from the Seahawks management told me before the game that he wouldn't have announced that move if he didn't have Holmgren's blessing beforehand. They did it for free agent purposes, and they wanted to eliminate any questioning or uncertainty about the future. But I think in the back of Holmgren's mind, he wished that the next head coach had not been announced at this particular time.
Thanks, Chris. Here's 3rd and 7 for the Seahawks. Blitz coming. It's picked up. The pass is caught. Corin Robinson stepped out of bounds, but he got enough for the first down just across the 46-yard line. Good job by the offensive line as they picked up the blitz, allowing Seneca Wallace to find Corin Robinson. Robinson back with the Seattle Seahawks, his second tour of duty, and had the longest play in franchise history last week on the first series against the Eagles, a 90-yard catch and run. Owen Schmidt in at fullback. Wallace, and that's batted down intended for Kerry Colbert. He didn't hold on as Will Allen hit him. Allen has picked up his game. He's been playing very, very well the last few weeks. He's had an interception in each of his last 2 games. 1 return for a touchdown last week.
Well, what people don't talk about with Will Allen, he's got over 100 starts out on the island at corner. I mean, you cannot replace that experience. And you saw that time. I mean, he saw the hitch route in front of him and still has a lot of burst left in those legs as he drove on the football and was able to get there on time to get it out.
Julius Jones, nothing there. Great work up front by the Dolphins. Their defense continues to do well. Last week, they were strong in Denver, especially the run defense. They gave up only 14 yards on the ground to the Denver Broncos, who like to run the football. They got pressure on Jay Cutler. Outstanding job, and they had 3 interceptions in the game. 1, as I mentioned, by Will Allen, which he returned for a touchdown.
Well, they're building this team, and Bill Parcells, doing the personnel, is building this team from the inside out. And they're very, very stiff in the front 7. They're big.
3rd and 10, screen pass is wrapped up. What a play by Channing Crowder. Big time pressure, and Crowder was the man waiting for the running back.
Here's Channing Crowder right there, number 52, and he's just reading the running back. He's on him the whole time, and then throws a nifty little move inside Walter Jones. No chance for a big tackle. And he's one of those big dudes on the front 7. I mean, he's about 250 pounds. They are thick in their front 7 on defense.
John Ryan's second punt of the game. Devon Bess is deep for Miami. All Dolphins thus far. Good high punt. Bess backs up to his 2. Slips by 1 man. And bounces off another. Trying to get outside, and they've got him at the 15-yard line. Good effort by Devon Bess. The man he made miss originally came back to make the stop. 12-yard return.
Well, you see here, Sam, that Seattle defensively has spent a lot of time on the football field. That's the worst in the league. Almost 34.5 minutes for them on defense. Now, it hasn't been bad today, and there's been a couple of good long drives by Miami, but that number's a little skewed, in my opinion, because of that quick long run by Ricky Williams on the last drive and just spanked it into the end zone quick.
This is the Dolphins' 3rd possession of the game. First 2 possessions, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. They start from the 14. Off the play fake, Pennington pulled it down, went outside to the fullback, Lou Polite. Let's find out what's happening with the Atlanta Falcons. Kurt, take it away.
Sam, they just keep on rolling. This is the rookie Matt Ryan, 32 yards to Michael Jenkins. Doesn't get in the end zone. Out at the 2-yard line, don't worry. Next play, Michael the Burner Turner grinds it in, and the Falcons have a 14-3 lead in the 2nd quarter over the Saints. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
Well, we talked about the Dolphins turnaround the AFC. How about Atlanta's turnaround in the NFC South? 5-3 and leading division rival New Orleans 14-3. 2 tight ends in for the Dolphins. 2nd and 1. Ronnie Brown tries to get outside with a stiff arm and gets back very close. It's very close to the 1st down line. Lofa Tutupu brought him down. Let's check out the spot. They'll bring in the chains for a measurement.
This is how you draw it up. Julian Peterson is going to get up, and he's going to spill it, which means he's going to get under the backside pulling guard, which is going to allow Lofa Tutupu to get over the top. You see that? Peterson got right under Andy Alleman, which forced that to bounce right to his other defender, and that's what you call spilling it. You spill it out the edge and let your run and hit defenders get to it, as Lofa Tutupu did there.
Less than a foot short. It'll be 3rd and inches. Well, Tony Sperano wanted to get his running game over 100 yards for the team. Ricky Williams has helped him get up to 93 in a quarter plus a few minutes. There's Ricky Williams on the sideline on this 3rd and short for the Dolphins. Chad Pennington missed his first pass of the game and has hit his last 8. 2 tight ends in. Anthony Pisano and David Martin. Ronnie Brown goes in motion. Polite the fullback. At gets a first down. He got a big first down on that 80-yard drive last week in Denver. And we go back to Chris Myers. Chris.
Sam, 80 degrees sunny. That's typical weather for a South Floridian, actually mild. But behind the Dolphin bench, let's take a look. And the Seahawks have the same thing. The equity rule in the NFL, that's air conditioning units at each end of the bench. And over here we have giant fans that are lined along the bench. But something the Dolphins have that the Seahawks opted not to have, this wiring, it's temperature management system, and it blows cold air into the shoulder pads, ventilates the entire body, keeping the Dolphin players cool. Meanwhile, on the other side, IVs, as one Seahawk representative told me, we were lined up like Jets at O'Hare getting IV for the heat and humidity today.
Chris has got that attached to his sport jacket. That pass by Pennington incomplete under big-time pressure from Lofa Tatupu, who hit him as he threw, and the pass was almost picked off.
And Lofa just a step late, and that's one area I think Mike Holmgren talked about his defensive stars making plays and needing to shine. And Lofa Tatupu, you go back, he's one of the better middle linebackers in the game over the last couple of seasons. With splash plays, interceptions, sacks, knocking the football out. And that time just a step late as he came on the blitz, hitting Chad Pennington as he got rid of the football.
2nd and 10, 2 tight ends with David Martin splitting out wide right. Pennington going for Camarillo, incomplete. Well covered on the play by Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson, the second-year cornerback out of Maryland. He's a playmaker, and he's done a good job on the outside.
He really has, and he's going to force Greg Camarillo to the outside in man coverage. You see there, now he's just going to turn and get right in his hip pocket and run with him. That's one thing he can do as good as anybody, is he can turn and run. And remember, Kelly Jennings, first-round pick from a few years ago, was the starter, and quietly Josh Wilson has beaten him out for the starting job and has played pretty good.
3 wide receivers in. Devon Bess is the 3rd wide out. David Martin, the tight end, splits off as Pennington works out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Steps up and lets it go. It's intercepted by Jordan Babineau. He's going for a touchdown. Beautiful play by Jordan Babineau. There was some pressure on Chad Pennington, a man who doesn't throw many interceptions. That was only the 5th interception thrown by Pennington this season. But Jordan Babineau steps in front and takes it in.
Boy, the Seahawks needed that, didn't they?
Only their 4th interception of the season.
And the problem continues for Miami on 3rd and long. They have been absolutely horrible in 3rd and 6+ this year. They got into it that time. Seattle brought some pressure. Chad threw it late. Pick 6 the other way.
There's a big turnaround. A big defensive play by Jordan Babineau. Pressure on Chad Pennington. Babineau picks it off and takes it in.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Burger King. Have it your way.
Jordan Babineau gets the credit, but the guy that caused it right there is Craig Terrell. He's playing defensive tackle. Watch him press the outside gap of Andy Alleman. Now watch what he does to Chad Pennington. Right there, pulls his upper body sideways, which forces Pennington to get rid of the football late, is why Babineau got a pick.
Ted Ginn from 1 yard deep in the end zone gets outside. If you joined us late, he returned the opening kickoff 100 yards for what looked like a touchdown, but it was called back for a hold. Good return by Ted Ginn. But the Seahawks are back in the game thanks to their defense. Bruce DeHaven in the background there, the special teams coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, upset with his kickoff coverage. Dolphins start from the 36-yard line with Ronnie Brown on the Wildcat formation carrying, and gets across the 40. Pickup of about 4 on the play. They've run that Wildcat formation 3 times, and one time it led to a touchdown when Ronnie Brown handed off to Ricky Williams for the 51-yard run. There's Chad Pennington back in the huddle. Baraka Atkins, number 91, is in at defensive end on the left side for the Seahawks. And there's Pennington lining up out wide as they go to the Wildcat formation again. Ricky Williams, he's got a play that went for a touchdown, gets a couple of yards up to the 42-yard line. Ricky Williams has been very, very much a part of the offense for the Dolphins. Starting off right away running, takes this catch for a first down, and here's the touchdown run, 51 yards. Big burst, and he outruns Marcus Trufant.
Tony Sperano, the head coach, said Ricky has been a total pro in every way you look at it. Has never been late for one thing. He said he's top 10% on the team of guys that do the extra stuff. He's been terrific.
3rd and 3. Seahawks showing blitz. Flags fly. False start against the Dolphins.
Yeah, you can't hear Pete Morelli there, but I believe it's false start on Greg Camarillo out on the edge. He flinched just a little bit before the snap, which is going to drive him back 5 now and put him into one of those 3rd and longs where they threw the interception last time for the touchdown. They have been horrible in 3rd and long. 3rd and 6+ all year. They're the worst in the National Football League is Miami.
2 conversions in 37 tries, 3rd and 7 or longer for the Dolphins this season. And here they are in 3rd and 8 with Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the backfield with Chad Pennington. Pennington throws outside off the hands of Devon Bess. And for the first time in the game, the Dolphins are forced to punt. First 2 possessions resulted in touchdowns. The last 2, an interception for a touchdown, and now a punt for Brandon Fields, the second-year punter out of Michigan State. Justin Forsett is deep for the Seahawks. Good kick. Forsett at the 7. Good coverage on the play as he's brought down by Patrick Cobbs. Boy, Cobb's a good all-around player. As a running back, can carry it and block. And a special teamer makes the tackle. The improvement of the Dolphins at 4-4, defense has been part of it.
Well, and it all starts with run defense, you see there, and that leads to better being on 3rd down, and you force the offense into 3rd and long, which is going to allow you to have more opportunities for takeaways. They've improved tremendously at shutting down the run.
Flags go down. False start against the Seahawks as they came to the line of scrimmage.
Number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on the left guard, Mike Wall. Sets the Seahawks back to the 13-yard line.
One thing about this defense that we'll talk about throughout the day today is they roll personnel through that defense. And Tony Sperano and Paul Pasqualoni, the D coordinator, they play everybody. Randy Starks plays a lot. Philip Merling plays a lot. There's Pasqualoni there. Soliai. I mean, all those D linemen, even backers, all get in the game.
A fake by Wallace. He wants to go deep, but there was a collision. Now a flag. Will Allen got tangled up with Bobby Ingram. Ingram went down. The flag was thrown.
Interference. Number 25 of the defense. Automatic first down.
Double move by Bobby Ingram. Just a little stutter route. And Will Allen just got in his way and hit him when that ball was up in the air. That's an easy call for the official back on the sideline.
Ball's up to the 22-yard line and a first down for the Seahawks. Seneca Wallace 7 for 10 for 54 yards. Julius Jones and Owen Schmidt in the backfield. And Jones in motion again. The fullback, Owen Schmidt carries, gets through the hole with some good burst and gets across the 35 to the 36. First down. Nice carry by Owen Schmidt.
Good block here by Walter Jones. He's going to get out here on Joey Porter and just blocks out the sun. Watch, Joey gets lost. He can't see where the ball is. The ball goes right by him because Walter Jones is so big.
Owen Schmidt's 3rd carry of the season and longest by far. Again, the pump fake. Wallace throws for Corin Robinson, but he was out of bounds. Good grab, but he did not come down in bounds, and it's incomplete. Will Allen covering on the play. They seem to be working on Will Allen a lot.
Well, and Corin Robinson's their best guy in terms of being able to beat somebody one-on-one and just giving him a shot there to go up and get a rebound. It's pretty good coverage by Will Allen. Corin just couldn't hang on to it. But Mike Holmgren real happy to have him back. He said he's the one guy that can, in our receiver corps, in terms of being healthy, that can beat guys man up.
On second down, swinging wide is Julius Jones, and the Dolphins spread it out and cover it well. Let's find out what's happening in New York with the New York Jets. Kurt Menefee.
And Julius's big brother Thomas having a nice game. Second touchdown of the day for Thomas Jones. Jets up 24-0 over the Rams, and there's still about half a quarter to go before halftime. Sam and Tim.
Thanks very much, Kurt. Jets looking for their 6th win. The Rams have fallen back on hard times. Now the ball to 37, 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Kerry Colbert in as a 3rd wide receiver. They split the tight end as well. Dolphins come with a blitz. Wallace with a deep drop. And the pass is caught at midfield. Good grab by Bobby Ingram for a 1st down. And once again, working against Will Allen.
It's a real good job by Seneca Wallace, because they're going to bring the pressure. Both backers right up the gut. Right there. Seneca Wallace doing a real good job just standing in there and delivers the strike right there on a little curl route in front of Will Allen.
Pick up a 13 on the play. Ingram 3 catches, 38 yards at midfield. The Seahawks on the move. It's Julius Jones behind Mike Wall. And he spins down to the Dolphins' 47-yard line. Vonnie Holliday makes the tackle. Pick up a 3 on the play. It's a gorgeous day here in South Florida. Temperature about 80 degrees. There are 2 places that Chris Myers chooses to be: California and Florida. Sunshine. And we'll be back in Florida next week in Tampa. He loves it. It's great to have Chris with us. Jordan Kent, number 82, is in at wide receiver. Out to the left side. On second down, the play fake. Wallace. And the ball is dropped. Try to hit his tight end, John Carlson. Well covered by Jeremiah Bell. What a story Jeremiah Bell is.
He's a great story. Yeah, he really is. He leads them in tackles on defense. He's, plays all over the place. He's up in the box defending the run. You saw there that he can burst on the football and came and knocked that out from behind. That guy worked in the steel mill after high school and then realized, you know what, maybe I want to play football. Walked on at Eastern Kentucky. Kentucky saved all his money.
Paid his way the first 2 years.
Was the only guy that made. Him and another guy made it. He said the other guy quit. I was the only walk-on to make the team. Eventually got himself a scholarship and ended up being a 6th-round pick.
3 wide receivers for the Seahawks. The pump fake. The pass for Ingram. He tried to thread the needle, but the pass was dropped. And a 4th down coming up for the Seahawks. Now let's go to Mr. Sunshine, Chris Myers.
Well, I didn't have to work at a steel mill, Sam, but sometimes working with you and Tim feels that way. I kid.
Missed you in Chicago last week, big dog.
Jeremiah Bell, to follow up on his story, wasn't crazy about football, but the work ethic that he learned from the steel mill applied to football, and then he enjoyed football a little bit more. Found it was easier than working at a steel mill. And teammates on the Dolphins are inspired by his story. They look at him as a defensive leader along with Joey Porter.
And after being injured, having an Achilles injury last season, cost him most of the season. He played only 1 game. He's come back. He's still not 100%, but he is doing well. The punt, the 3rd of the game for John Ryan, taken by Devon Bess near the 15-yard line. Well, the Miami Dolphins enjoying the turnaround. That man is Bill Parcells, the great coach. And now the man that's putting together the Dolphins, similar to the Giants. They had Lawrence Taylor. Now he's brought in Joey Porter. They had Phil Simms at quarterback. Now he's brought in Chad Pennington to be his veteran quarterback. At tight end, they had Mark Bavaro in New York. Now he's got Anthony Fasano playing that role. And the protective tackle was Jumbo Elliott in New York. Now it's the 1st pick overall, Jake Long.
Come on, Bill has won wherever he's been, and he's going to win here. There's no doubt. This season's already pretty good evidence of that. He's done a terrific job changing over the personnel on this team.
From the 15. Oh, Pennington was swarmed under. Diving play by Julian Peterson. And that really blew up that entire play. Great rush by Peterson.
Well, and a quarterback's not in shotgun. This is hard because this guy's going to step out. The guard's going to step down, and there's nobody to pick up Julian Peterson. Chad Pennington is not in shotgun. That's just a mistake by Jake Long. The running back had no time to get there with Chad under center. Jake Long, the left tackle. That's a mental error. His defensive end dropped in his own blitz. He's got to turn down on Julian Peterson and get a block.
Jordan Babineau in as a 5th defensive back for Seattle. We have the interception return for a touchdown. Camarillo is pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Short pickup on the play. And here comes 3rd and long for the Dolphins.
Some key factors here for Miami, and this is, again, back to Bill Parcells, and now Tony Sperano's carrying it on and really doing a good job as a coach with trying to get these things accomplished. And the low score wins, the penalties, the turnovers, the big plays allowed and total. And you see right there, Seattle, so far in this game, has done a better job of it.
Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the backfield with Chad Pennington on 3rd and 8. Pennington throws the screen to Ronnie Brown. And it's broken up. Good play by Lofa Tupu to slow him down. And then it brought down across the 20-yard line. But the Seattle Seahawks have been coming on. Started with the interception by Jordan Babineau, returned for a touchdown. And the last 2 Miami possessions, they have forced a punt.
Well, and if you've noticed, their stars have made plays over the last 2 possessions. And we saw Julian Peterson get good pressure. We've seen Lofa Tupu now in the last 2 drives have an impact on what they're doing defensively.
The punt by Brandon Fields is taken by Justin Forsett. And he's brought down. Good coverage on the play. 45-yard punt, 6-yard return. Big week on Fox next week. We've got the Vikings and the Buccaneers. Tim and I will be in Tampa for that one. We also have the Arizona Cardinals and Seattle Seahawks, the Rams and the 49ers. It all begins with a Bill Ford Top Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Seahawks start from the 42-yard line. Good field position. Offensively, they haven't been able to sustain things. They've punted 3 times. Jones and Schmidt in the backfield. Off the play fake. Deep drop by Seneca Wallace. That pass off the arms of Julius Jones. Miami's key factors. We talk about the big plays allowed, and Seattle has allowed a couple of big plays.
Yeah, Seattle did something wrong with the first time. Seattle, they had the long touchdown pass against them, and of course the long run by Ricky Williams.
Right. 2nd and 10. The 3 wide receivers in, everybody out. Wallace throws and completes it to John Carlson right at the 1st down line. It's going to be enough for a 1st down as we hit the 2-minute warning. And the Seahawks on the move, trailing by 7.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Lindo Mare waiting on the sideline, hoping to get a chance to kick a field goal here in a stadium that he's quite familiar with. 10 years he played for the Miami Dolphins, their all-time leader in field goals and points.
Number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
That's on Ray Willis and sets the Seahawks back. He left the Dolphins before last season and went to New Orleans. And this year has done very well in his 1st year in Seattle.
Finished last year with a broken hip, right, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And he's 13 of 14 this year for the Seattle Seahawks, and he's gone 50+. So I was watching him kick in pregame. He's still got a lot of juice left.
Jones and Schmidt in the backfield on 1st and 15. Off the play fake. Wallace in trouble. Finds Owen Schmidt, the fullback. And he's brought down close to the 45-yard line by Jeremiah Bell.
That's a young player making a mistake there. He could have easily taken that cut to the right and got himself out of bounds and stopped this bad boy right there.
Seahawks still have all their timeouts remaining. Terry Colbert in as a 3rd wide receiver, number 13. And with Colin Robinson and Bobby Ingram. This is for Robinson, broken up. well covered on the play by Andre Goodman. They've been going to the other side of the field against Will Allen. And Jason Allen is in as well as a fifth defensive back. And Will Allen has been moved inside as a nickelback.
Goodman's had a good year. He really has. And he was a starter in Detroit. Injuries have kind of sidetracked his year some, but he's played well. Came over the top there with his left hand to bat it out before the receiver could pull it in.
Big play for the Seahawks. 3rd and 9. 3 wide receivers. Wallace moves, throws, completes it, but short of a first down to Julius Jones, who's shoved back. Forward progress to the 43-yard line. Let's see what Mike Holmgren decides to do.
Miami's going to call a timeout, I would imagine. Miami wants to preserve the clock.
Dolphins call the timeout. Mike Holmgren with a decision here. First half of the season, there have been several surprises, including the Miami Dolphins. But how about the Tennessee Titans? 8-0. They're in Chicago today. Carolina bounced back with a healthy Jake Delhomme, 6-2. Buffalo, a great start. They're 5-3 in the first half, but struggling lately. Washington coming up strong in the NFC East at 6-3, and Atlanta 5-3 and leading New Orleans today 17-6 late in the first half.
They got to be one of the biggest surprises. The Atlanta Falcons, you got a brand new coach. You look at the first-time head coach in Mike Smith. You look at their record last year. You got a rookie quarterback.
That's amazing.
And at home, I mean, they're, as you said, they're winning right now over New Orleans. They're almost unstoppable at home. Matt Ryan in the Georgia Dome has been better than good.
John Ryan will punt for Seattle, his 4th punt of the game. End-over-end kick. Devon Best lets it bounce, and it bounces into the end zone. Touchback. Dolphins get the ball at the 20-yard line with just under a minute to go in the first half. And we go down to the field to Chris Myers.
Sam, Tim, a couple of tight ends in today's game. John Carlson and Anthony Fasano. You talked about them. A Dolphin, a Seahawk, once teammates at Notre Dame. They remain close friends. Fasano attended the wedding for Carlson, and Carlson told me before the game that they went to dinner last night. They talked a little Notre Dame football, a little bit about marriage, and when Fasano wanted to talk about how the teams were doing this year, Carlson changed the subject.
Thanks, Chris. Fasano also friends with Julius Jones. Now empty backfield. Ricky Williams in motion, takes the handoff and turns the corner and goes out of bounds across the 30. Chased out by Lofa Tatupu, but he's got a first down. Ricky running really well.
Well, and I'll tell you why he ran well is he got the edge because of this block right here by Anthony Fasano. Watch him block down on a defensive end. That's Lawrence Jackson out there, and he's just going to stay with him. Stay with him long enough to create enough of an edge so that Ricky Williams could get himself 10 yards.
Ricky Williams picked up 13. 8 carries, 97 yards in the game for Ricky Williams. Ronnie Brown in there now. And Brown straight ahead. Little cutback. Gets across the 40 up to the 41-yard line.
Chad Pennington here going to get the motion start. You see it just that with his hand there. Here you go, Rick. Come on over.
Hurry up offense. Pennington throws, and he's got a man wide open. It's complete to the tight end Anthony Fasano for a first down at the Seahawks 43-yard line.
First catch of the day.
Dolphins call a timeout.
First catch of the day there for Fasano, who's already at a career high. That thing went 16 yards. You know, I think he's proven this year in Miami, Sam, that he's more of an inline blocker. It was so hard for me to believe that he and a starting linebacker, Aiken Adele, came over here in the offseason for a 4th-round pick.
A money situation. Money situation. Apparently, Jerry Jones wanted to rid himself of some contracts.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that one. I mean, that was a good one for the Miami Dolphins. And Fasano has been terrific here. As I said, already at a career high. His career last year, his career high in catches was 14. And I think he's the one guy that came over from Dallas and knew what these guys were getting into. There's Aiken Adele there and told guys, look, it's going to be a grind now. They're going to work us. They're going to crush us in practice, but games will be easier, and it'll all be good for us in the end, and it has been.
Well, Bill Parcells and Tony Sperano knew those players from Dallas. First down Dolphins at the 42. Pennington throws drop. Ronnie Brown on the screen pass started to turn before he had possession and dropped the football. 2nd and 10. And the great aerial view of Dolphins Stadium is provided by DirecTV. We thank them for the blimp flying overhead. What a shot that is, huh? Packed stadium. And the Dolphins with a 14-7 lead. 22 seconds remaining in the half. Ronnie Brown in the backfield with Chad Pennington. On 2nd down, blitz coming. He throws outside and it's broken up. Intended for Ted Ginn. Good play by Kelly Jennings. 3rd-year man out of the University of Miami, who's back home. Grew up in Oak, Florida. Nice return for Kelly Jennings. There's Jim Morrow, who coaches the defensive backs. He is the head coach in waiting for the Seattle Seahawks. 6 defensive backs in with 17 seconds remaining in the half. Bunch the receivers to the right. Pennington has it batted down. Big play by Julian Peterson, who thought he could have intercepted it. And had he intercepted it, it might have been another touchdown.
Well, and they're blitzing. They're going to force Pennington to get rid of it quick. There's Julian Peterson right there. And he's just going to read it the whole way. I mean, he reads the quarterback. He knows, because he's got a gut blitz, inside blitz coming up on Pennington, that Pennington's going to be forced to get it out quick. Well played, and as you said, almost picked. That bad boy probably, Sam, would have gone the distance if he would have been able to intercept.
And with 4th and 10, 14 seconds remaining, the Dolphins will go for it. They have been good on 4th down conversions this season.
Timeout, Miami.
And now they call timeout.
Team timeout.
Their final one, as they want to talk it over.
2 yards or less. Now clearly they're not in that spot. It's 6 yards or more as they're at 4th and 10. 31% of the time, which is surprising to me that teams have gone for it on 6 or more and have actually converted 31% of them.
Overall, they're 5 for 7 on 4th down as they talk things over. Ball at the Seattle 42-yard line. Tony Sperano, the man in the jacket, the head coach, and Chad checking out his playlist on his wrist. Chad's, who joined the team in August, said the base offense was already in place, so he's had to learn on the fly. And sometimes there are plays that are called he doesn't recognize.
You couldn't have a smarter guy trying to learn on the fly. From the neck up, he is one of the brighter guys in the game.
Former Rhodes Scholar candidate. 6 defensive backs in for the Seahawks on 4th and 10. Pennington gets time, completes it to Devon Bess. He dives for a 1st down. Do they have time to spike the football? They're out of timeouts. 2, 1. Let's see.
Done.
At the end of the half.
Didn't get there in time. Time runs out on the Miami Dolphins. The Seahawks will get the ball to start the 2nd half. They deferred at the start of the game. Mike Holmgren's got to find some offense. His defense put up Seattle's only score.
The Visa Halftime Report is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Life takes Visa.
And we welcome you to the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt Menefee along with Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. And in the game you are watching, it's been Dolphins 14, Seattle 7. See how we do that? How about the Jets and Rams?
All right, Rams at the New York Jets. It's single back set. That's Thomas Jones. Over 101 yards rushing in this ball game and 2 touchdowns. That one covering 13 yards, 7-0. And then Mark Bulger hit by Abram Elam. Ball then comes loose, scooped up by Calvin Pace, and he paces on into the end. Pace right there. 50-yard touchdown. It's now 37-0. Rams all over the Jets. Wow. Buffalo at New England. Matt Castle, man coverage, folks. Man coverage. It's nobody is going to cover the quarterback. You can spread out. You can do what Castle did. 13-yard touchdown run. It is now 10-3 New England over Buffalo.
Elsewhere, the Falcons lead the Saints. Minnesota up by a touchdown on Green Bay right before halftime. Tennessee minus 5 yards rushing in the first half. They're tied with the Bears. Jacksonville all over the winless Lions. And Baltimore and Houston right now, it's Ravens on top 12-3 as they approach halftime. But going back here, Howie, to the Seattle-Miami game, and this Wildcat offense just keeps on rolling.
Yeah, you know, every week we say the same thing. You think defenses would adjust, be able to come up with a plan. But every week they come up with a different wrinkle, being Miami. Every week there's a new wrinkle to this offense, and they caught Seattle totally off guard.
Yeah, Baltimore did a nice job, but Baltimore plays good defense against everybody.
Baltimore's a little better.
Yeah, Tony Sparano's really changed the attitude with this team. We talked about it in the pregame show. Hey, they're going to win 10 or 11 games, Miami is. And I think with their schedule, the easiest in the league the rest of the way, they could be fighting for the division lead.
I just can't believe you can't figure out that Wildcat. I see it.
No one's done it so far.
That's why you're here now, Mike.
Seattle's got another half to see if they can do it. Second half comes your way right after this.
Welcome back to Dolphins Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins lead the Seattle Seahawks 14-7, moments away from the start of the second half. Early in the game, little razzle-dazzle, fleet flicker, and Chad Pennington hit Ted Ginn, 39-yard touchdown pass. And then out of the Wildcat formation, Ricky Williams taking the handoff from Ronnie Brown and going 51 yards for Miami's touchdown. Seattle's score came on an interception by Jordan Babineau, his first regular season touchdown. It's 14-7. We're coming back with a second half action right after this. The city of Miami in the background. It's about 83 degrees right now. There's some clouds that have moved in. 20% chance of rain. There's a little bit of a breeze. And there's some humidity here in South Florida, but all in all, it's been a pleasant day. And for the Seattle Seahawks making that long trip, they came in on Friday. They're trying to find a way to win on the East Coast, but they're a team in need of offense.
Well, I think they left their offense in Seattle. They didn't bring it with them because they have not been very good today, Sam, and that's been the problem. They got 36 yards rushing the football. Yeah. They have not really even penetrated deep into Miami's territory. So they got to run the ball better. Seneca Wallace has been okay. He's been under a lot of pressure. There's been some drop balls. Now, defensively on the other side of the ball, they've given up some big plays, but have actually started to play a little bit better, and their only points have been a defensive touchdown.
Now, what about teams coming from the West Coast playing in the Eastern time zone? They just haven't fared well, right? You know, it's 3 hours earlier in the West right now, so their body clocks can't have changed that much, and you see the numbers. West coming east, 37 to 71 losses since 2000, and for Seattle, they've lost 5 in a row and 7 out of 8 to teams in the Eastern time zone.
And 0-8 this season. You know, it is a problem talking to the Seattle Seahawks. Mike Holmgren's teams have not been very good coming east. They've tried coming in 2 days before. They've tried coming in 1 day before. And it hasn't worked. Now, Julian Peterson told us that your body clock's all messed up. I mean, that it is what it is, and it becomes really an issue of mental toughness, just telling yourself, you know what, it's no different. We're out on the gridiron. Let's just play some ball.
Before we start the second half, Chris Myers updates us from the coach's standpoint. Chris.
Well, Sam and Tim, when Tony Sparano ran off the field, he still thought there was a second left on the clock to try a field goal for the Dolphins, and he let the official know about it, politely, of course. Sparano did tell me his defensive game plan for his team is working perfectly. He wanted Ricky Williams to touch the ball out in the first half. He said if you thought you saw a lot of him now, you'll see even more of him in the second half. Obviously, the turnover hurt. For Mike Holmgren, he said our defense woke up, and it's a good thing. We're going to keep the pressure on Pennington to test his arm. But Mike also said that Seneca Wallace injured his groin somewhere in the first quarter and was in pain, and so he was limited, and that limited some of the things that Seneca Wallace could do in moving the offense, and fullback Leonard Weaver out with a rib injury. Sam, Tim?
Thanks very much, Chris. Now, here's the end of the first half with the clock winding down. Miami out of timeouts. They try to get up and spike the ball, and that clock is unofficial, and the official time kept down on the field, and the referee said the half had come to an end. Now, as we start the second half, the Seahawks will receive the kickoff. We'll see if Seneca Wallace will be able to play. He was sitting on the bench, and Charlie Fry, the backup, was standing along the sideline. Here's Josh Wilson on the return from the 1. And he is slowed down, spins away, and he's got room. And And he tried to get outside, and he slipped another couple of tackles, and he's still going. And finally, the kicker was able to slow him down. Dave Carpenter got a piece of him and forced him out of bounds. What a return by Josh Wilson. 49 yards. So great start for the Seahawks.
Something out of nothing. This should be dead in the water right there, but he shakes off Patrick Cobbs, reverses field, now turns on the Jets. Now he's going to run by Condren. Comes back inside on him, and 49 yards, but probably ran 100 on the play.
Seneca Wallace is in. As Chris mentioned, may have tweaked the groin a little bit. Charlie Fry, the backup, the emergency quarterback, the third quarterback is Brian Russell, the safety. On first down, it's another first down picked up, a pickup of 11 on the pass, completed to Kerry Colbert. They came out in a 3 wide receiver formation. First catch of the game for Colbert. First half, 244 yards for the Dolphins, 115 for the Seahawks.
And you can see Miami offensively, they've had their way in both rushing and passing. The one turnover being the difference. That one turnover, the interception by Jordan Babineau, Sam, that went for a touchdown.
Now the ball just across the Miami 40. It's the fullback Owen Schmidt with Leonard Weaver injured. Schmidt takes it down to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 4 on the play. And some oxygen for Josh Wilson. Outstanding return. Not only did he return it 49 yards, but he ran all the way across the field.
I'm telling you, he ran 100 on the play.
Jason Allen in as a 5th defensive back for Miami, and he starts in on the defensive line. 2nd and 8. Julius Jones, nice hole. He weaves his way through, and he's got a first down at the Dolphins 29. Deepest offensive penetration of the game for the Seahawks. A pickup of 9 for Julius Jones. And they spot the ball to 28-yard line.
Good blocking across the board. Now they're going to pull Willis. They're also going to pull Carlson, and watch both of these guys lead up in the hole. There's the kick-out block by Willis, and then Carlson with a nice kick-out block on Channing Crowder.
Off the play fake. Wallace starts to run. He was going down on the play when he threw the football. And let's see, are they pulling out a flag for intentional grounding?
Morelli
the officials are talking it over.
Yeah, I thought Julius Jones was sitting right in the hole.
There was a receiver in the area, number 22.
Yeah, okay.
Pass, 2nd down.
Matt Roth had a hold of the jersey and was pulling Seneca Wallace down. Tony Sperano would have been happy had it been an intentional grounding.
Here's Matt Roth right here, 98, coming off the left side. Watch what he does to Owen Schmidt. I mean, just right by him. Schmidt almost tried to leg whip him.
Yeah.
There, it looked like a little bit. Roth, you know, real close to a sack. Wallace unloads it.
Timeout called by Seattle. They're threatening, down by 7.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Visa. No matter how you celebrate game day, Visa is the way to go. By the new Hyundai Genesis. It all starts with this. And by FedEx, your ultimate NFL air and ground player.
Beautiful view of Miami on a nice fall day. A good day for football. The Dolphins with a 14-7 lead, and the Seahawks at the Miami 28-yard line. Dolphins defense, the only score given up was on an interception by Jordan Babineau, returned for a touchdown. Blitz is on. Julius Jones runs right by inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Right at the first down line, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Peter Morelli, the referee, takes a look. Yes, first down. Jeremiah Bell has gone to the sideline with an apparent injury. Tyrone Culver has replaced him.
Well, look at all the defenders still moving, and they actually get caught on a blitz here. They're not set. Now they're going to run right off the edge. Channing Crowder goes inside. Roth goes outside. and Julius Jones gashed him.
Ingram in motion, draw play Julius Jones. He stumbled as he got to the hole and went down with a pickup of a yard on the play. Jason Ferguson made the tackle.
This is the first 3-4 defense Seattle has played against all year, and it's different. I mean, a lot of teams traditionally running the 4-3. You got an inside triangle here with the nose tackle and both inside linebackers. And then the defensive ends and the nose tackle, they're in charge of 2 gaps. And what they do is you need bigger, stronger guys in those heavy alignments that line head up on the guy in front of them. They read the block, and then they're responsible for each gap on the side of the blocker, which is much, much different than a 4-3 defense where everybody's got a gap and they really preach gap penetration and being in charge of only 1 gap. 3-4, it's 2 gaps.
Jeremiah Bell, who went out for a play, is back on the field. Kerry Colbert, the 3rd wide receiver, shaken up on the last play, but walks under his own power to the sideline. Seahawks threatening here. This is the best drive of the game. Deepest penetration. Jason Allen in as a 5th defensive back for Miami. Randy Starks in on the defensive line. 3 wide receivers for the Seahawks. Jordan Kent is the 3rd wide out. Wallace with time running, and he's having trouble running. You can see that was the groin injury that Chris talked about, and he could barely move upfield.
You can see the groin's a problem.
Wow.
And again, that's a huge asset of his, the ability to move around and use your legs. And there's nobody open. He's got trips to the right, 3 receivers over here. There's nobody open. He's looking. Now look at the edge. I mean, normally you could see him just take off on the edge and try to outrun guys. There's no way that he can do that. You can clearly see that his groin is an issue in terms of running the ball.
2nd sack of the game for the Dolphins. That's Charlie Fry. He's the backup quarterback for the Seahawks. Maurice Morris in the backfield for Seattle on 3rd and 11. The pressure on. Wallace throws too high. Intended for John Carlson. And Seneca Wallace upset that he didn't connect with the tight end.
And it's pretty good coverage. I think what you need to do is you got to blitz him. You got to get after Seneca Wallace, and they did that time. So just force him to unload that ball early, sailed out of his hand, way out of the reach of Carlson.
Olindo Mare, a 37-yard attempt, and it is good. The former Miami Dolphin returns to the place where he starred for 10 years and puts one through. It's 14-10 Dolphins. Seahawks need better kickoff coverage here. You see the key players, Jordan Babineau, Lance Laurie, C.J. Wallace. Ted Ginn had a return of 100 yards on the opening kickoff that was negated by a holding penalty, and he's had a 37-yard return, so they need some good coverage here. Olindo Mare to kick off as the Seahawks are within 4. There won't be a return. That almost reached the stands. Can't get any better than that. Strong leg by Olindo Mare. Well, this January, Fox once again brings you the greatest week in college football. It begins with the FedEx Orange Bowl, the All-State Sugar Bowl, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and the FedEx BCS National Championship game. It's college football's biggest games this January only on Fox.
And 2 big ones here, right? You got the Orange Bowl here, and then you got the National Championship here.
Right here. Ricky Williams in the backfield as the Dolphins start from the 20. Quickly outside to Patrick Cobbs, the other running back who split out. And he lunges forward close to the 25-yard line. Marcus Trufant with the tackle.
Well, if your offensive line can play like that, 0 sacks allowed and 21 passes attempted, 8.3 rush average, excuse me, you're having a pretty good day.
Ricky Brown and Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown, excuse me, in the backfield. As Pennington looks things over with 2 tight ends. And he goes outside of Patrick Cobbs, so they had 3 running backs in. It's all about personnel, and Mike Holmgren was talking about one of the keys for his defense is to recognize the personnel in the game for the Dolphins.
Well, and this is just like an extension of a running play. They're giving Patrick Cobbs a cushion out on the edge. We saw it twice in a row. They split him out to the right side the first time, just threw him the ball, let him run in space. That time to the left, and Cobbs picked up enough on 2 plays to get you a first down. That's just like a running play. There's no reason that guy as a receiving threat that you need to give him that big of a cushion. You need to challenge him at the line of scrimmage.
From the 30-yard line, a first down. Ricky Williams in the backfield. Off the fake, Pennington throws, and it's missed. Intended for Ted Ginn, covered by Marcus Trufant. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins. Here's 2nd and 10. Ricky Williams in the backfield. Fasano, the tight end, lining up in the backfield as well. It's Ricky Williams trying to cut it back. Good play. Leroy Hill in on the tackle.
Okay.
No gain on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
Good penetration here to the left side. Baratka Atkins and watch Craig Terrell. They both get up the field, which is going to force Ricky Williams to cut the ball back right into where the defenders were waiting for him. And that's, remember we were talking 3-4 defense earlier? That's 4-3 style, where you get in a gap and you force the running back. You get penetration and force the running back to make a cut.
3rd and 10. Coming across the line was Baratka Atkins, but it was a false start.
5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
That's on the right tackle. Now, this is a team that has been very disciplined, doesn't take many penalties. That's one of the keys for Tony Sperano, is to have a smart, disciplined team. But here they take 5, and it brings up a 3rd and 15. 4th penalty of the game for the Dolphins. Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the game together. Dolphins have to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. Pennington drops it off to Ronnie Brown. He's got a couple of blockers. And he's brought down by Julian Peterson at the 35-yard line, short of the first down. So the false start penalty hurts the Dolphins, and they'll be forced to punt.
Well, again, those 3rd and long situations, they have not converted. Look at all the backers. They're getting up into the line of scrimmage, and then they'll all bail. They're showing, they call that mugging it up, mug up look. The linebackers get up to the line of scrimmage, and then they bail out, along with Babineau. Got to Ronnie Brown before the first down.
On the return, Justin Forsett slips one man and brings it back. Cobbs got a piece of him. Good return by Forsett up to the 43-yard line. The Seahawks are coming alive. Their special teams coordinator, Bruce DeHaven, loves it.
Let's go. The team doctor for Seattle went over to check on Seneca Wallace. Charlie Fry, the backup, told him to hang in there. The groin injury following the calf injury. His mobility is limited, but as one Seattle Seahawk teammate said, with Charlie Fry, the backup, who began to loosen up a little bit behind the bench. No disrespect to Charlie, but Seneca injured still moves better back there than Charlie Fry healthy. Sam, Tim?
Thanks, Chris. On first down, Owen Schmidt, the fullback, picked up 3 on the play. That return by Justin Forsett was 29 yards. Seattle's defense has really come alive. And now it's the offense with 3 wide receivers. Wallace steps up. The short throw is caught by Corin Robinson in midfield, and then he is shoved back with a hard hit by Channing Crowder.
That's one thing. I mean, you look at both of these linebackers. We talked about it earlier today. They are so big and physical that you're not going anywhere. Once they decide they're going to wrap you up and tackle you, both Channing Crowder and Aiken Adele, and they're body rockers. They're both about 250 pounds.
It's a big play. Seattle trying to get some momentum going. They were down 14-0. Now down by 4. Julius Jones slips a tackle, has a first down. Good run by Julius Jones across the Dolphins' 45-yard line. Jeremiah Bell with a tackle. Julius Jones with 11 carries, 41 yards.
Well, this is a repeat run from earlier. It's just a power where they're going to pull the guard, they're going to pull the tight end and get a couple of kick-out blocks right there. And then again, Carlson, that time it was on Jeremiah Bell. Julius Jones runs right through the arms of Randy Starks, picks up a big first down.
On first down, everybody out. Wallace steps up, throws and completes to Corin Robinson. Just short of the 30-yard line. It's another first down for the Seahawks. And the offense is feeding off the defensive play as they've started to move the ball. Pick up a 13. Now the Dolphins have to find some defense. At the 31-yard line. Again, 3 wide receivers for Seattle. Wallace dumps it off to the tight end, John Carlson. Turns it into a big gainer. Carlson to the 10-yard line where he slammed into the cornerback Jason Allen and sent him flying. He's out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. A first down.
Really good blocks by the center and the right guard. You'll see all the pressure is going to come from over here. Now watch 74, Ray Willis, and the center, Chris Spencer, as they both pull out. There they go. Now here's the block. Spencer got the good push block there on Jeremiah Bell, and then Ray Willis was able to seal it up and get the defender to go outside to create a nice little inside running lane for the big pickup.
20-yard pickup from the 11. Julius Jones, nothing there. Try to bounce it outside. The Dolphins chase him out of bounds. A loss of 3. Let's check out the Vikings and the Packers. Kurt Menefee.
Well, nothing lost on this play. Gus Frerotte finds the running back Chester Taylor, but watch the move Taylor puts on Desmond Bishop, the linebacker. Oh, no chance in that one. Taylor goes 47 yards for the score. Vikings starting to open it up. It's 21-10 in the third quarter. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
Wow, Vikings leading the Packers. The Bears are trailing at home against Tennessee. We'll see, Tim and I will see, and Chris, we'll see Minnesota at Tampa Bay next week. Back to the 14. Deep drop by Wallace. Throws to the end zone, it's dropped. Corin Robinson had it and dropped it. That was a go-ahead touchdown, and Robinson couldn't hang on.
And he's going to go from out here. He's going to come inside, get to the goal line. You could not throw this any better. Little double move, fakes out, comes in.
Oh.
And sent it, I mean, right on time. Perfect strike. And point blank, Corin just drops it. I mean, that is right at his face mask, right at his eyes, and he couldn't hang on.
They've got to get to the 1-yard line for a first down. Maurice Morris in the backfield. Everybody out. Morris makes the catch, and he's brought down by Jeremiah Bell inside the 10 at the close to the 8-yard line, and out comes the Olindo Mare and the field goal kicking unit. And the Seahawks looking to get to within 1. Are those boos for Olindo Mare? It's right through. 26-yard field goal for Olindo Mare. And the Seattle Seahawks, who were down 14-0 early in the game, are now within 1. Animation Domination is all new tonight on Fox, starting with The Simpsons at 8, 7 Central. Then it's all new laughs from King of the Hill, Family Guy, and American Dad. Viewer discretion is advised. Glad you're with us on this good football day in South Florida. Ted Ginn is deep. Olindo Mare's kick Stays in the field of play. Give from the 5. There's a lane. He bursts through. He's tripped up and spins forward to the 35-yard line. Nice return. Ryan Russell finally took down Ted Ginn. Return of 30 yards. And the Dolphins, whose offense has stalled the last 5 possessions, comes on the field. A look at the Miami Dolphins bench. They've got them hooked up to the cooling system. That's the rookie Kendall Langford.
Porter needs to pull it out. Forget cooling down. That boy needs to heat up. He had one big play early in the game, and otherwise Sean Locklear and Walter Jones have done a pretty good job of limiting his rush and his impact on the quarterback.
Ricky Williams and Lou Polite in the backfield for Miami. From the 35, Pennington checks off. Throws outside to Ted Ginn, who made a nice adjustment on the play against Josh Williams. Made the catch at the 48-yard line. Pickup of 13 on the play.
Chad Pennington talked about those types of throws in the meetings that we had with him on Friday. He said these corners are so good at really turning and running with your receivers. And you'll see here Josh Wilson, he's going to flip the hips, he's going to run. Chad said, you know what, maybe those back shoulder throws are going to be a big part of what we do. We've started to see him now sprinkle a few of those in versus that tight coverage.
Toss to Ricky Williams, following Patrick Cobbs, gets just across midfield. The Dolphins offense trying to come alive again. The first 2 possessions of the game, they had 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. The last 5 prior to this one, 97 yards.
Yeah, John Marshall has done a good job, the defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. And I mean, you think of Miami with that Wildcat formation, they crushed them with that in the first half. We haven't seen a lot of it here in the second half so far. And there's John Marshall right there, the defensive coordinator.
At midfield, David Martin, the tight end, motions. Off the play fake, pressure on Pennington. How about Julian Peterson? Again, all over Chad Pennington. He is having a strong game. They want a... Nobody there, says Mike Holmgren. He wants an intentional grounding. The officials are talking it over. We think David Martin, the tight end, might have been in the vicinity. They're waving Mike Holmgren off.
Julian Peterson's playing what you call a joker. He's standing up right there. You don't know where he's going to rush from. He's moving around. He's moving around now. He sees an open crease, and he exploits it. Rocky Bernard went inside. Barack Atkins went outside. They both took the blockers with him. He had an open run, an open shot to the quarterback. He's played well here in Miami.
There's 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Pennington works out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. They split the tight end. Here comes the blitz, and they've got him. It's Leroy Hill firing in to sack Chad Pennington. First sack of the game for the Seahawks.
Here's Leroy Hill. He's going to loop under and come inside. Oh, that's just a good design blitz. Lofa Tatupu also took it inside, and they've got Miami confused right now. They are working all the angles. Lofa Tatupu went inside. The defensive end went outside. And Leroy Hill came as a free runner to get the sack on the quarterback.
And another punt for Brandon Fields, his 4th. It's a short one toward the sideline, and it's out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. Looks about the 22-yard line where the Seahawks will take over. As we look back at the first half of the NFL season, how about the top players? Clinton Portis in rushing, leading the NFL. In passing and pass yardage, Drew Brees of New Orleans. Receiving, Andre Johnson of the Houston Texans. And Nick Collins and Charles Woodson of the Green Bay Packers. 4 interceptions each. One of the reasons the Packers are in contention for first place in the NFC North.
What's going on with New Orleans down in Atlanta today? Where's all those points?
No
Where's
offense.
all those yards?
They're down 20-6 to Atlanta. Julius Jones and Owen Schmidt in the backfield. Wallace throws, completes to John Carlson up at the 29-yard line. Jeremiah Bell with the tackle on the play. Another great first half for this man, Joey Porter, who has been kept quiet. He's had half a sack in this game, but for the most part, they've blocked him well.
Well, and that was at the start of the game, and they have. And he's rushed from the right side. He's rushed from the left side. Numbers-wise, though, he is off to a career year.
3 wide receivers on 2nd and 3. Julius Jones takes it outside. Nice run by Jones up to the 45-yard line. Will Allen brings him down, but a first down of the pickup of 16 for Julian Jones.
Really good vision by Julius Jones here as he pops it inside. See, here's Jones. He's going to take it under Matt Roth there, but watch Carlson right here at tight end. Watch his block on the linebacker, Channing Crowder. And just enough. Nothing that's going to put the linebacker on his back, but you keep him engaged enough, and your running back's going to get an edge.
3 wide receivers. Wallace going deep for Kerry Colbert. It's off his hands. Incomplete. Jason Allen. One-on-one coverage down the sideline. Seneca Wallace, despite the groin problem, is throwing the ball very well today.
He's throwing it very good. When he gets into a rhythm, and you know this offense is all about timing and rhythm with the wide receivers, and if he can hit that final step in his drop and deliver it on time, you know, he knows this offense. He's been a backup here for 4 years, and when he's got his rhythm and timing going, he's pretty good.
On 2nd and 10, 4 wide receivers in. The blitz coming to hand it off, and it stopped right away in its tracks. Channing Crowder stopped Julius Jones at the 42-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play.
They dial up a gut blitz. Here's Crowder. He's going to come right up the middle, unblocked. They thought it was going to be a pass. Seattle went with the draw, and he just busted it right in the mouth in the backfield.
End of the 3rd quarter. It's turned into quite a game. Seattle coming back. They're within 1. It's 14-13. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers at Dolphins Stadium. We start the 4th quarter. The Dolphins leading the Seattle Seahawks 14-13. Dolphins led 14-0 after the first 2 possessions of the game. Maurice Morris in the backfield on 3rd and 12. They have to get to the Dolphins 45 for a first down. Wallace throws, and it's dropped. Kerry Colbert, another drop.
That's 5 drops by this offense today, and key drops. That one was huge. They had the drop by Corin Robinson in the end zone for a touchdown, and Kerry Colbert hasn't been able to hang on to anything. That was a big one right there. 3rd and long. Everything is perfect. The quarterback steps up on time, delivers a strike, and it hits the receiver right in the hands.
And he's wide open. I mean, there was nobody within a couple of yards around him. John Ryan's 5th punt of the game. Devon Best deep for the Dolphins. Best with a chance to return from the 16. Makes one-man miss, and then he's brought down at the 20-yard line. So the Dolphins defense gets a big stop. 41-yard punt. Best with a 4-yard return. And Miami trying to get their offense going now.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lowe's. For all your home improvement needs, Lowe's. Let's build something together. By Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. And by the all-new Dodge Ram. Never back down from a challenge.
Back at Dolphin Stadium outside of Miami. The Dolphins at the 21-yard line. Scored on their first 2 possessions. They have failed on their last 6. Toss to Ricky Williams. He goes over 100 yards. Let's check out the Atlanta Falcons. They are running it up on New Orleans. Here's Kurt Menefee.
You know, Sam, it's too bad they don't have the fastest man competition, because Jarius Norwood would be the winner easily. Breaks away, starts high-stepping, almost gets caught and says, hey, I'll just put it in another gear. 67 yards on the score, and Atlanta all over the Saints. 27-6 right now. Sam and Tim?
Wow, that is impressive. Thank you, Kurt. Look at Atlanta, ready to go 6-3 in the NFC South. Pennington with time, nobody open. Looking, dives forward to the 26-yard line as going to bring up a big third down play for the Dolphins. Darryl Tapp with the stop on Chad Pennington.
They haven't done anything in this second half. No. And you know, you take away the long touchdown on the flea flicker, gadget stuff, and the Wildcat, and all the success they've had on the Wildcat, they're at about 186 yards of total offense.
Last 6 possessions, interception, 2 punts, halftime, 2 more punts here in the second half. There's a big 3rd and 4. Devon Bess in as a third wide receiver. Blitz coming. Pennington completes to Ted Ginn. That's a first down at the 35-yard line. Good job by Pennington with the blitz coming.
Well, good job by the quarterback and the receiver to adjust on the blitz. And now they're going to run some no huddle and try to speed it up here on the Seattle Seahawks and get that pass rush tire.
3 wide receivers. Fasano, the tight end, splits out. Pennington sends everybody out. Throws incomplete. They want a flag. Dolphins want a flag. The officials say no.
Yeah, that was just inadvertent tripping, I think. Or incidental contact, one or the other. It looked like Lofa Tatupu was looking and trying to play the ball. And he and Fasano went down together.
It'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Ricky Williams back in the game, has gone over 100 yards. Ricky Williams, 11 carries, 103 yards. His first 100-yard game since January 1st of 2006. Everybody out. Short pass grabbed by Ricky Williams. First down. Boy, he explodes into 4th or 5th gear in a hurry. It's a first down at the 47.
And this is just a really good play call against this defense. Seattle's going to send some guys on a blitz. You see Leroy Hill come right there. Now look at the burst right here by Ricky Williams. Brock Atkins can run. Now he's a D lineman, and he was already running while Ricky was still standing still and got from 1st to 5th gear in a heartbeat to pick up the first down.
Patrick Cobbs is in and splits out to the right side. Ronnie Brown in the backfield. Pennington, short drop outside. Ted Ginn didn't break out. He kept going. And the pass incomplete. Pressure from Darryl Tapp and Brandon Mebane for Seattle. Pennington has been sacked once in the game. He's thrown an interception. There's Ricky Williams, who's had a big day. A couple of catches. And over 100 yards for the 32nd time in his career. Williams in, Brown out, 2 tight ends, and an empty backfield for Chad Pennington. The handoff to Williams, and he's tripped up, slowed down, and able to fall forward close to midfield. They'll spot it at the 49-yard line, picked up a couple on the play. And again, a 3rd and long for the Dolphins. Baraka Atkins made the tackle.
That's just the Wildcat play without the Wildcat in the backfield. It's the same play they run out of the Wildcat with Ronnie Brown taking the snap. Time Chad Pennington ran it out of the shotgun. You can tell Ricky Williams has still got pop left in those legs.
They have to get to the 43 of Seattle for a first down. They pick up, no, they didn't pick up the blitz. Pennington able to run, throws, completes it to Devon Bess. A first down at the 39. He got away from 2 blitzers on the play.
Well, Julian Peterson is coming right up inside, unblocked. This is just outstanding work by Chad Pennington, spinning out the backside. Enough of a block there by Ronnie Brown on Josh Wilson, and now it's up to the receivers. If you're deep, come back to the quarterback, and that's exactly what Devon Bess did right there.
Ronnie Brown came very close to holding Josh Wilson, let him go, and Pennington able to spin away. 9th play of this drive for the Miami Dolphins. Ronnie Brown, nothing there. Good job up front by the Seahawks to stack it up. Had a look at Howard Green, who's getting some good playing time with Red Bryant out with a high ankle sprain. The rookie out of Texas A&M, Red Bryant, injured last week. Howard Green goes to the sideline.
The guy playing the best up front, I think, for Seattle today on that defense is Julian Peterson. I mean, he's been virtually unstoppable, and his quickness allows him to get into the crease before anybody can even block him. And he's come from everywhere. Right, left, middle, up the gut, off tackle. He's had a big impact.
Cobbs motions. Jordan Babineau in at the right corner for Seattle. Pennington goes short, completes it. Patrick Cobbs down to the 30-yard line. And I want to correct that. It was Lou Polite, the fullback, coming out of the backfield. You got guys in all different directions. There's Lou Polite. Got down to the 30-yard line. It's a 3rd and 1 for Miami.
They play all their personnel here in Miami now. And Tony Sperano told us Friday, he goes, I think we've changed about 50 guys on this team. And everybody plays.
Matt McChesney signed off the practice squad this week. He's in at left guard, replacing Justin Smiley. Ronnie Brown trying to find a way for a yard. He shoved back. Let's see where they give him forward progress. He's going to be short. He got just across the 30-yard line, and that's all. Good job again by the Seattle front. 4th down. What will Tony Sperano do?
He's going to go for it, I think. I think he's going to try to get it. He's got to believe in his offensive line right here and the big physical nature of that group.
They made a 4th down earlier. They're 6 for 8 on 4th downs. Fourth and 1. Brown motions. Polite. And he's got it. The fullback, Luke Polite. Going straight ahead. The 4th-year man out of Pitt.
And right behind the big fella, Jake Long.
Let's go down to the field and see what Chris Myers has for us. Chris.
Sam, the Dolphins able to do that without Justin Smiley, as you pointed out. The medical staff and trainer working with him. They were checking his right arm, the extension of his right shoulder. Earlier, they wrapped his left ankle. He said, I'm okay. I want to go back in. They said, wait, let's just make sure. Looks like he wants to get back in and possibly may in this drive.
Hey, coach, I'm ready.
Yeah, he's got the helmet on. He's ready to play. Big 1st down for the Dolphins. And now Miami calls a timeout. They're on the move to the Seattle 29. Pressure building on the Seahawks defense to come up with a big stop. The Dolphins have driven from their own 22-yard line to the Seattle 29, a 1st down. Everybody out. Pennington throws for the corner and overthrows Greg Camarillo. Well covered by Marcus Trufant. Let's check out what the Packers are doing in Minnesota. Here's Kurt.
Packers safety Nick Collins took an interception, 59 yards for a score. Defense holds Minnesota and forces a punt. What happens? Will Blackman takes it back 65 yards for a score. Jimmy said Blackman would be a difference maker today. Jimmy was right. It's 24-21, ending the 3rd quarter right now. Sam and Tim.
Thank you, Kurt.
That punt team for Minnesota has been horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible this season.
3 running backs in for the Dolphins, but Patrick Cobb split out. The fake, and Ronnie Brown out of the Wildcat formation, running straight ahead. Gets a short pickup down to the 26-yard line. So the Dolphins showing you a little of everything. Dan Henning is their offensive coordinator. And, man, he has really mixed up the offense with personnel and formations and coming up with the Wildcat that has worked well for Miami.
Well, they decided to go, and I know they've got a coach on their staff that worked at Arkansas last year with McFadden and Felix Jones, and they ran a lot of the Wildcat there with the 2 backs. And they really thought of it earlier in the year as an opportunity just to get Ricky and Ronnie on the field together.
15th play of this drive. Camarillo motion, 3 wide receivers, 2 backs, everybody out. Short to Ronnie Brown. leaps forward for a first down. He's down at the 16-yard line. Marcus Trufant was there. Ronnie Brown high jumped him.
And a clear out route. You see two receivers going deep, getting vertical, taking the defenders past the first down sticks. And now it's all about Ronnie Brown in space, giving a little extra effort and just a high hurdle over Marcus Trufant to pick up the first down.
This drive reminiscent of the drive that they had last week in Denver in the fourth quarter. Again, out of the Wildcat formation, Ronnie Brown still has it. Led by Patrick Cobbs. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown! You can see how upset Mike Holmgren is. Ronnie Brown takes it in out of that Wildcat formation. What a drive by the Miami Dolphins. Capped off a 16-yard touchdown run. The extra point by Dan Carpenter is good. 16 plays, 79 yards, 9 minutes, 6 seconds, and Ronnie Brown takes it in. Couple of big blocks from Jake Long and Patrick Cobbs.
Sam, watch the two key blocks here. Jake Long, left tackle, and then the tight end, David Martin. Jake Long is going to get Lawrence Jackson. He's going to get him to the ground, and then look at the wall off, the seal block right there. David Martin on Brian Russell. Wow. That gives the edge. Now a good kick-out block there by Cobbs, and the rest is Ronnie Brown. Three real good blocks on the play.
Short kickoff by Carpenter. The young man, Forsett, has it. Across the 30. Good return by Justin Forsett. And he's brought down at the 46-yard line. It's still a one-score game. Seattle is down by 8. Miami opening up the lead. Last week in Denver, the Dolphins had a 2-point lead. They went 80 yards in 15 plays, 8:03. This last drive, 16 plays, 79 yards, 9 minutes, 6 seconds. With a 1-point lead that's turned to 8. The chase is on. They've got Seneca Wallace. It's a gain of about 2 yards on the play. Matt Roth is the man who took him down. Matt Roth is a defensive end learning to play linebacker.
And watch the motor here. There is no quit in Matt Roth. He's going to be matched up on a running back here. Pow, he gets outside of him. Now he's just going to keep his motor hot, keep pursuing, and eventually get in on Seneca Wallace before he could pick up any positive yards. 1.5, 2-yard gain.
3 wide receivers. Wallace throws, and a nice catch by Bobby Ingram. Gets up, gets a couple more yards, and is out of bounds at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. Good play by the veteran Bobby Ingram. A pickup of 15 on the play. Looks like he was shaken up a little bit.
It's a really good throw by Seneca Wallace, too, who was under heavy heat from Vonnie Holliday and Joey Porter.
Seahawks down by 8. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game. Julius Jones in the backfield. It's Jones. Good hole. Jones, can he get outside? He does. He's heading for the goal line, but he's down just inside the 5. What a run by Julius Jones. Matt Roth was able to catch up and take him down just before he burst into the end zone. 33-yard run for Julius Jones.
Well, they control the nose tackle right there. It's Jason Ferguson. He just got reach blocked by Chris Spencer. That is a no-no. We talked earlier about playing both gaps. When you're a 2-gapper, the center showed him he was trying to hook him to get that outside edge, and he got it, hooking Jason Ferguson.
From the 5, Jones straight ahead, fights his way to the 2-yard line. That 33-yard run by Julius Jones, his longest run of the season. Big comeback by the Seahawks. Maybe their offense was so rested by the long run, the long drive of the Dolphins. They've come out with fire here. They've got a 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, they've run the ball good today. Miami, we talked about them earlier too, how good they've been at run defense. Seattle has creased them pretty good on the ground this afternoon.
Number 69, Steve Ballos, an offensive lineman, is eligible, plus 2 tight ends in as well. T.J. Duckett, his first carry of the game, is stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard on the play. Forward progress to the 3.
Watch, this is what you call filling a hole. Watch Channing Crowder. He keys it. He diagnoses it. He does not take the false read of the fullback. The fullback went to the left. He did not take the bait on that. Watch the fullback go here. He's not going to read it. He's going to go fill the hole and stay with the tailback, T.J. Duckett.
Why bring in Duckett for the first time in the game at this stage? I don't know that I agree with that.
When he's gotten down near the goal line, he has sniffed touchdowns. I mean, that has been his forte. But that's just really, really good work by Channing Crowder.
Big game for Channing Crowder, but now it's a 3rd and goal for Seattle at the 3-yard line. They've called a timeout. They have 1 timeout remaining. You see the clock, 3:03 to go. And here comes Julius Jones back in the game.
And what they tried to do there, Seattle, is they tried to show that fullback going to the left, which will hold that linebacker, because that's the linebacker's read. Channing Crowder didn't fall for it. That's what you call a false key. He was all over it.
Randy Starks, number 94, in on the defensive line for the Dolphins. Empty backfield. Wallace throws, touchdown, Corin Robinson. A big answer by Seattle, and now they need 2 to tie. The Seahawks will be going for the 2-point conversion for the first time this season.
Really a good job. Corin Robinson on a stick route. You see him there. He's just going to push it inside. He's going to put all 7 cleats in the ground. He's going to stick that foot in the ground and then pivot off. And he just pivots to space. Good job by Seneca Wallace finding him.
Dolphins defense has stopped 2 2-point conversions this season. Jones motions. Flag on the play. They stop the play. A false start. False start on Seattle.
False start, number 68. 5-yard penalty, retry.
That's on Mike Wall, the left guard.
He looks like he's just still adjusting his stance is what it looks like. Watch him. No, he did jump a little bit early.
A little early. They had their eyes on him. So the ball is back to the 7. Seahawks trying to tie the game. 3 wide receivers. Julius Jones in the backfield. Everybody out. Wallace throws. Batted down. Jeremiah Bell broke it up. The Dolphins maintain the lead on the big play by Jeremiah Bell.
There's Carlson. He's just going to come get to the goal line, and Jeremiah Bell just makes a great break on the football. They had the tight end bracketed off there. And then watch Jeremiah Bell. He's on it the whole way. He just reads it. Ball's late coming out. Allows him to get over the top, lay out with his left hand, and get a huge bat down. Huge pass breakup.
So now the Dolphins with a 2-point lead. And now they'll try to maintain possession. Trying to go 5-4. Trying to win their 3rd game in a row are the Dolphins. Seattle Seahawks 2-6. trying to find a way to win on the East Coast for the first time this season, and the first time in their last 6 visits to the Eastern time zone.
It'll be interesting to see if they onside this. Now, Miami's got their hands unit out there, their return unit. They're expecting an onside kick, but with 3 minutes left and the 2-point conversion and a timeout, you can count on your defense.
Well,
now, you do have to remember the last time Miami had it, it was a 9-minute drive.
That's right. Let's see. Olindo Mare is teed it up. The Dolphins spread out. He kicks it deep. Over the head of Ted Ginn, through the end zone, a touchback. No time taken off the clock. And the Dolphins will start from the 20-yard line with a 2-point lead. And don't forget, coming up right after football, it's the postgame show brought to you by AT&T with exclusive BCS standings. Check out what happens in college football. Alabama hanging up there. Texas Tech with a big win. Penn State a disappointing loss to Iowa. We'll see what the BCS standings are. We'll have full highlights following the game. Ronnie Brown and Patrick Cobbs in for Miami. Cobbs motions. Brown takes the toss. And the Seahawks are there. No gain on the play. Leroy Hill made the tackle. And Seattle uses its last timeout. They have the 2-minute warning ahead of them. So Mike Holmgren deciding to stop the clock with 2:53 remaining. And we go down to the field to Chris Myers, who's enjoying this one.
It's exciting, Sam, and the Seahawks are excited, and they've been revived by the Julius and Julian show. Obviously, Julius Jones with some big runs and helping and aiding or an ailing Seneca Wallace on offense. But as you and Tim have pointed out, Julian Peterson not only moving around in different places on the field to pressure Chad Pennington all day, but he's been the guy on the sideline when he hasn't been on the field, almost like a politician, encouraging, supplying support for his team, making sure they stayed in it, even when they were down 14-0. Same energy right now.
Thanks, Chris. Julius Jones, 16 carries, 88 yards. 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends in as Pennington backs up into the shotgun. Gets time, completes to Camarillo. He's down at the 28-yard line, 2 yards short of a first down. The clock will continue to run.
And they gave him such a big cushion. Chad Pennington's just not going to miss it. I mean, Greg Camarillo, Trufant, is so far back. He's just going to run an in route, and there's no way Chad's not going to see that. He diagnosed it pre-snap that there was off coverage, and he knew, look, I got 8 yards right here, an easy 8 on a square end from Greg Camarillo.
This play could virtually be the ball game. Dolphins looking for a first down. On 3rd and 2. Pennington in trouble. They got it. Ball's out. And did they get the ball? They do. The Seahawks ripped the ball out. They've taken it away. Darryl Tapp recovered the fumble. And it looks like Tony Sperano wants to challenge that he was down by contact.
Yeah, I think his left knee was down by the time Tapp ripped it out.
Miami is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact.
There's nobody open now. He's going to sneak up inside. Rocky Bernard there. He goes down. Yeah, he's down. By the time that ball was pulled out, Chad Pennington was already on the ground.
Referee Peter Morelli is taking a look. Here's his ruling.
The runner was down by contact. Miami will not be charged a timeout. The ball will be placed on the 27-yard line. 2 minutes.
You can see it here. Pennington, not only is his left knee down, but his elbow, really his whole side's down when Rocky Bernard pulls it out. So it was clearly an easy call. Challenged in the booth and got it right, Pete Morelli.
2-minute warning. Seattle gets the ball.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
The Dolphins punt it away. It bounces. Justin Forsett watches it go out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. So the Seahawks get the ball. We welcome those of you who are watching the New York Jets and the St. Louis Rams. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers here at Dolphins Stadium outside of Miami. This has been quite a game. Dolphins scored touchdowns their first 2 possessions of the game, led 14-0. Seattle got to within 1. Then the Dolphins went on a 9-minute drive for 79 yards and opened up an 8-point lead. Seattle came right back with a touchdown, got to within 2, but they missed the 2-point conversion. Now the Seahawks with the ball and no timeouts remaining. Seneca Wallace at quarterback. Pressure. Steps up, they got him wrapped up. Sacked on the play by Vonnie Holliday, the 3rd sack of the game for the Dolphins.
Well, Vonnie Holliday, this is really kind of a coverage sack because Vonnie Holliday's pushing it upfield. Seneca's got nowhere to go with the ball, steps up, Vonnie Holliday falls off inside and gets himself a sack.
Wallace throws, completes to Bobby Ingram up to the 30-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down with the clock running. Seahawks out of timeouts. Everybody out. Wallace completes it to Corin Robinson at the 40-yard line.
Career long for Lindamare this year, 51 yards. They'll need to get it down to the 33-yard line for him to have a chance, at least for a 51-yarder, the longest he's made all season.
3 wide receivers. Maurice Morris carrying. Spins outside. He dives forward for a 1st down just across midfield.
Got to clock it. You got to clock it.
He's going to spike it right here. Lindamare warming up on the sideline. The clock stopped on the spike. And the Seahawks getting close. If you're just joining us, first time they had the ball. Flea flicker. And Chad Pennington hit Ted Ginn 39 yards. Then out of a Wildcat formation, a handoff from Ronnie Brown to Ricky Williams. 51-yard touchdown run. Ricky Williams 105 yards in the game today. Then Jordan Babineau with an interception return for a touchdown. Later, Miami went on the long drive, and that was Ronnie Brown taking it in for the touchdown. On 2nd down, Wallace. Pressure. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Bobby Ingram yelling to the official that he was held on the play. Pressure from Channing Crowder. Our game summary: Seneca Wallace, 19 for 32, 164 yards, 1 touchdown. Julius Jones, 16 carries, 88 yards, a 33-yard run that helped set up a touchdown.
Seneca has been better than that today, though. There have been 5 huge drops by his wide receivers. One of them was a touchdown drop by Corin Robinson.
3rd and 10. Blitz coming. Wallace throwing. He's got Bobby Ingram. It's broken up by Will Allen. Wallace a little short on the throw. Ingram was open, but he had to wait for the ball.
Well, that's exactly right. He was real short on the throw. It's man coverage. Good job by the O-line picking up the blitz. And you saw there, Bobby Ingram almost had to come back for the football, which gave Will Allen an opportunity to play catch up and get up and get it knocked down.
Well, here's the ball game. Seahawks 4th and 10. Everybody out. Wallace steps up, throws, it's off the hands, incomplete. Intended for John Carlson, the tight end. The Dolphins have held, they take over on downs. They will win their 3rd in a row and go to 5-4. Little chest bump by the head coach.
The super fan, Tony Sperano.
What a turnaround. The 1-15 team last season with a new coach, Tony Sperano. And a lot of new players. Wow, is he fired up. Buffalo lost to New England today. The Jets have won. The Dolphins will be a game out of first place, tied with Buffalo.
They've already beat New England, remember that.
They beat New England and Buffalo.
That's right.
Lost to the Jets opening day here. Chad Pennington takes a knee, and the Miami Dolphins have defeated the Seattle Seahawks 21-19. Today's game produced by Mike Burks, directed by Rich Russo. The associate director is Tom Yohe, broadcast associate Eric Mandia, technical producer is Frank Phillip. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gordon and David Hill. Spotter in the booth, Gary Lynn. Our statistician, Emmett McGuire. We'll be back here at Dolphin Stadium in just a moment. The Dolphins defeat the Seattle Seahawks 21-19.